Hey everybody, this is David from Festus Trading Company, and I just got done putting together my fan mounts from this past season here in Missouri. I'm going to walk you through step by step how I did this and show you how you can do this at home with your turkey fan. Stay tuned. All right, I got a beautiful tom here this morning, and what I'm going to do is first remove the tail fan for our tail fan mount. This is the end product that we're shooting for, and so I'm going to show you how we get from this to this. So I like to use a real sharp knife right here, and what you're going to want to do is grab that fan. And let me flip the bird like this so you can see. What I'm going to do is err on the side of taking more feathers with me, and I may not use them all, but I like to have them. And so if you go to the base of this tail right here, it almost becomes like a handle. It really narrows down. And that's what you're going to want to pinch down on. And I'm going to take all of these multicolored feathers right here, many of which I'm going to get rid of, but I'm going to grab that, and then with my sharp knife right here, I'm going to go in, and you're going to feel resistance at the tailbone. And what you're going to want to do is make that knife find the joint. All right, this is what we're starting with. All right, next thing we're going to do is remove the spurs. And so what I like to do is cut about 1/4 inch above and below. And if you have a Sawzall, this works easy. Now you can't tell me that I'm the only one that measures an 8-inch beard, but then gives it one of these when I send a picture to the homies. Now one thing that I used to do when I would remove the beard is I would cut around and I would leave some meat right here. And that was something I always had to put borax on and just dry out. And it was kind of lumpy when I put it into a beard holder. One of the things I saw and works really, really well is you get a really firm grip. You notice where my thumb's at. And then just give it a swift tug. And it's going to come off. No, I'll still dip that in borax, but really not a lot of issues there. There used to be a big glob of meat on the end, the way I used to do it. All right, this was a bearded hen. So look at that. And, you know, I wasn't anticipating a great fan, and I was wrong. It is just smaller. For comparison, here's oh, that was probably a two or 3 year old bird. That's the size. So it's just mini. First thing I'm going to do, get rid of some of these feathers that I don't need. Some of the dusty, mostly gray. They are ugly. And our fan mount is going to cover about that. And so some of these will not be missed. And one of the ways I found to do this is just kind of give it a shake. And that is its natural position. That is beautiful. First thing I'm going to do is pin my base. Before I do that, I'm going to grab some borax right here. And I'm going to lay some down right here. And I'm going to kind of get this meaty part right here. There's kind of a little pocket in there. Make sure to massage it in there. All right. So we got our back pinned. And then I'm going to set my edges. So as you can see, my middle feather is the tallest. And then I stair step down from side to side. And that just looks better. And then this second row of medium-sized feathers, again, tallest right here, stair stepping down, stair stepping down. And I really like pulling this third row of feathers up, and we're gonna wanna hit this with borax. Then those just flip down. Now throughout the project, you are going to accumulate a big pile of feathers and set those aside, don't throw them away. And what we're looking for, or what I'm looking for, is some of these really nice colorful ones. I like the gold, so I'm gonna set those aside. And I'm going to find a couple that have really good color on them. And I like the wider rectangular ones. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with these. All right, so on my beard, I'm just going to coat that thing in borax, and it's good to go. On the spurs, and this is a really important thing, and I actually already did it, but just take I'm using a drill bit, but you punch 2 holes through, and you'll get a little bit of meat that comes out. That way you'll be able to run a piece of string right down the middle of that. And then I'm just going to fill that up with borax on both sides and let that sit. Same thing over here. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find where I have bare spots, like right here, and I'm going to fill those in. And you know what? Sometimes it looks awkward, so you pull it out. Let's see, we got a lot of like some dark ends right here. So we're going to want to find one with dark ends to match that up. Hey, maybe something like that. All right, once you got it looking the way you want to, I'll tell you what, the difference between an okay fan mount and a really good fan mount is what I'm doing right now, is getting the feathers to stair step down and getting everything looking great. This is a piece of artwork. It's hopefully going somewhere cool, and you want to make sure you bring out the full beauty in it. This really is an art. And I'm just going to hit right here with a little bit of borax. Find that beard, tuck it in there, and I'm just going to take this thing of borax. We're going to weight it down. We are going to give this a week or so. I don't think you're going to overdo it on letting it borax out. I do think you can underdo it. That's my opinion. So I usually let these sit for a week. Good evening in the shop. Got bearded hen right here, and then a nice big tom down here. All right, upon receiving your package, you're going to have 2 items right here. Now, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take these screws out of the back. When you receive your mount, you're going to have your picture and your mounting bracket. What you're going to want to do is lay your mounting bracket with the keyhole side down, okay? Then you're going to want to take your turkey fan mount and center it, and make sure that this line is parallel with this line right here. Then we're going to want to place our photo. Now, if we put it on too low, it's going to show these feathers, which aren't very attractive. And if we put it too high, we're going to block a lot of this natural beauty. And so what we want to do is slide it down until we find the spot where we can see this upper ring of feathers and we're totally square. I'm going to then pinch it, flip it over, and I am going to insert these 3 screws. there you have it, a turkey fan mount. What you're going to want to do to mount your beards in there is to remove the screw that you're interested in putting the turkey beard in. You're then going to insert the beard, putting this beard in. Now this is nice and snug and is going to be there for years to come.